Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig through the financial statements of publicly traded companies to find the real story. Today we're looking at enVVeno Medical Corporation, and let's just say their latest report might have some good news mixed with a bit of, well, let's call it a comeback story for now, before we dive in. If you enjoy these simplified corporate breakdowns, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to discuss these findings with other finance enthusiasts or ask your burning questions, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Alright, so we're looking at a report filed by enVVeno Medical Corporation. This is a company that develops medical devices, and they've just released what sounds like an update on their financial health and their listing status. Let's start with the money. As of the end of last year, December 2025. enVVeno had about $28 million in cash and investments. Now, $28 million sounds like a lot, but in the medical device world, especially for a company that is still growing, this can be a tightrope walk. It is enough to keep the lights on and fund some operations. But it certainly doesn't signal a massive war chest for major expansion or unexpected R&D. It means they need to be very careful with their spending. Now, for some really interesting news, the company announced that they've regained compliance with the minimum bid price requirement. This is a big deal, especially if you've been following them. Stock exchanges like NASDAQ have rules, and one of them is that the stock price needs to stay above a certain level, usually $1 for a sustained period. If it falls below that, the stock can be delisted, meaning it is no longer traded on that major exchange. That would be bad news for investors. So, the fact that they've met this requirement means they are currently in good standing with NASDAQ, which is a positive sign. It suggests their stock price has been recovering. This recovery and their ability to meet the NASDAQ listing requirements is crucial. Being listed on a major exchange like NASDAQ is like a stamp of approval for investors. It makes the stock more accessible, more liquid, and generally perceived as more legitimate. Losing that listing would make it much harder for the company to raise future funds and would likely spook investors. So this isn't just a small technicality, it is a significant step in demonstrating stability and continued viability to the market. We also see that their trading symbol is enVVeno, and their common stock is traded on the NASDAQ Stock Market LLC. This is the main stock investors would be looking at. The fact that they are still listed and have regained compliance is the key takeaway here. So what does this all mean? The company enVVeno Medical Corporation is confirming that they are back on track with NASDAQ's listing rules. This likely comes after a period where their stock price was struggling, dipping below that crucial $1 mark. This announcement is less about new financial results and more about demonstrating operational and financial recovery to the point where they meet the exchange's standards again. It is a signal that the company believes it has stabilized itself enough to avoid delisting. This type of announcement often follows a period of intense effort by management to improve the company's outlook, whether through cost-cutting, new product developments that excite investors, or a general positive shift in market sentiment towards their sector. For investors, it is a sign that the immediate threat of being kicked off a major stock exchange has passed. Now, looking at this report on a broader scale, we see a company that was clearly facing challenges, likely with its stock price performance. The announcement about regaining compliance with the minimum bid price requirement is the headline here. It is not a report that is overflowing with stellar financial growth figures that we might see in a period of expansion. Instead, it reads like a company that has successfully navigated a critical hurdle, preventing a potentially damaging delisting from NASDAQ. The $28 million in cash is their fuel to continue operations and hopefully build from this stabilized position. It implies they are operating leanly and are focused on maintaining their exchange listing as a priority. The key story here is resilience. They hit a rough patch, their stock price likely suffered, putting them at risk of delisting. But they have, according to this report, taken the necessary steps to get back into compliance. This is a critical moment for any public company. Surviving this and showing the market you can meet listing requirements demonstrates improved management and a clearer path forward, even if the current cash position isn't sky high. It suggests a focus on the fundamentals and a commitment to maintaining their public trading status, which is essential for future financing and growth. So to sum it up, enVVeno Medical Corporation has announced they have met NASDAQ's minimum bid price requirement, meaning they are no longer at immediate risk of being delisted. They also have a cash and investment balance of approximately $28 million as of the end of 2025, which will be crucial for their continued operations. The company's direction seems to be focused on consolidation and stability after likely facing significant stock price challenges. The main strength is their successful navigation of the delisting threat. A potential weakness or risk, however, is that $28 million isn't a huge sum for a medical device company, so they will need to manage their finances very effectively and continue to grow their revenue to avoid future financial pressures. The opportunity is that by regaining compliance, they have a stable platform from which to rebuild investor confidence and pursue further growth. Alright, that is our breakdown of enVVeno Medical Corporation's recent filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.